So do you know who is on the planning board? It's always mentioned. Well, the planning board, they deal with zoning and planning and all that. This goes here, that goes there. Variances and all that. They're supposed to look out for the future of a town. But in many cases, planning boards turn into these, okay, you can reduce the amount of setback. Yeah, you can build that here. Don't worry about the sunlight. Don't worry about parking in and out. Don't worry about anything. You want 10 bedrooms? Well, you're not allowed to really rent to a lot of people. Should we limit the amount of bedrooms that are being built with these new homes? Think about that. So who is on the planning board? Mayor Vince Serra. It's a very powerful position. He picks the planning board. So really, Vince is the king of Brigantine, which is a good thing to be, the king of Brigantine. So Vince is the king of mayor of the Brigantine Planning Board. Paul Lettieri, our good friend, our paisan. Paul, I'm counting on you, man. You got to break away. Paul Lettieri, he's on the planning board. Maria Sacco Handels, very lovely person. She's a realtor, I think, and a very good one at that. She's on the planning board. Ask Maria about stuff like this. Say, Maria, is this Brigantine Now stuff a bunch of you-know-what? She'll say, yes, he's very disturbing, but yes, everything he's saying is true. Right, Maria? So this is all the planning board. These are the people that are okay with what's going on. Chaser Gaffney, a local businessman. I think he's a developer too, but Chaser is a good guy and a go-getter, an up-and-comer. Mike Brindisi, he's a builder. I think he's the chairman, if I'm not mistaken, of the planning board. Now, it's not a bad thing to have realtors and builders on a planning board committee, but you got to always realize sometimes you have to recuse yourself. Are they all voting the same way? Especially if Vince is in charge of getting rid of you if he doesn't like the way you're voting. You know? Hans, I hope I didn't misspell that. Hans Jacquet, the solicitor, I guess, the solicitor of Brigantine's on the planning board. Cormac Morrissey, the engineer, he's on it. So you can see that this is not really a good, wide collection of people to give input on the planning board decisions. It should be a greater representation of all different types of people and buildings and situations to be on the planning board, but nah. Lance Landgraf, he's a planner for Brigantine. He's also the mayor of Ventnor. He's also head of planning and development for the CRDA. Does a great job. And you got to watch the old videos of Lance Landgraf and Ventnor dealing with the short-term rental thing. Everybody spoke. All the councilmen, the mayor, the city manager, the business admin, the police, everybody chimed in Ventnor. People were allowed to call in on Zoom so they could watch it live on video and streaming, and they could actually do a Zoom chat and ask questions. It was tough. Lance was under a lot of pressure. They should have done 5 or 7, but they went back to 3, but they did something. They also hired an outsider to scan for people trying to scam the system. They hired some kind of software company to scan people trying to rent out their place without being properly registered. Ventnor did it right. And Mr. Serra should have paid attention. But I'm sure Lance gave him recommendations, but didn't say anything. Said, all right, knock yourself out. Really. The Kabbalah, she's the secretary. Ralph Palatucci, Dory Herndon, Frank Alberti, and Trevor Cohen. That's your planning board. I'm assuming I don't know, do we see the votes of which way they vote? Can you see why Brigantine does not live stream or record planning board meetings? That's where all the action is. I always tell people, planning board, you got to start, to hell with the council meetings and the commissioner meetings. Planning board, that's where the real action is, not this monkey business with the commissioners. The commissioners are at the end of the process. It's the planning and zoning people. They're really driving the direction of Brigantine because they should be, as they create these new ordinances. Why do you need to build 9 and 10 bedrooms? Because they want to turn it into an Airbnb. And I'm not against Airbnb. I'm just saying you can't let it go crazy and let it just go unrestricted, while at the same time completely BSing people who have lived there for decades and for generations, who have homes that are getting pushed out. Or they're going to say, I got to get out while the getting's good. And that large group of people that need long-term or annual rentals. You're killing that, Vince. Just make sure those realtors are disclosing everything that's going. This is a major change. Can you really identify that neighborhood, that residential neighborhood, as a residential neighborhood? Or is it mixed use? I'm okay with mixed use, putting these Airbnbs in mixed use neighborhoods. That's where you have commercial or retail in addition to residential. Nah, they put it right in the middle. Big buses pulling up. Big van shows up, streamers, all kinds. Just DJ Mike Reardon setting up for the night. I want to congratulate John Doring. He's this month's Hall of Shame candidate. He won because he has failed consistently week after week after week, can't keep the live internet streams of the city council meetings intact. He's keeping the second homeowners in the dark. He's getting a double thumbs up and a free pizza pie from his good friend Tiger Platt for not doing a good job keeping second homeowners in the loop. Employee Failure Hall of Shame. John Doring. Congratulations, John. You worked hard at that, man. You've been doing it for a long time. Can't even figure out a way of letting all the taxpayers watch these meetings. They have good video now, but there's always a glitch. And it's not a glitch. They're doing it on purpose. Not having a public comment microphone on. Previous week, it was echo. And John Doring, the IT guy, just sits there. His job is to monitor it. And he sees a problem, you can fix it, troubleshoot it. That's what they do in Ventnor. If there's a problem, they troubleshoot it and get it fixed in like 30 seconds. I wish you well, everybody. Stay tuned. Go to Brigantine now.